This video is to train individuals on how to make a GeoJSON file, basically a file that can be imported into the GIS map or exported from the map to use in a different map function. In today's demonstration, I'm going to utilize a search for township. In my search, I'm going to take a parcel number for, say, Leesburg Township. I'm going to search and export that result into a GeoJSON file. How we do that is you get the results, and then you click on the three dots next to the query drop-down menu and export to GeoJSON. You can also export it to a CSV file, which is basically a file that can be put into Excel or any kind of WordPad document. You can also later on import CSV files as well, although they seem to be a little bit harder to illustrate in comparison to the GeoJSON files. So export the GeoJSON file. You're going to see that there is a download that will appear either depending on which browser you're using, up top or down below. In that GeoJSON file, you can take that and drop it into this add data feature. It's simply a drag and drop, so you can browse your computer for a CSV file or a GeoJSON file, and then drag and drop that file into this. If you want to see if it made it, you can look at layers and see that it's put here. Depending on the name of the file, will depend on what this name shows up here. You can delete layers as needed if you have multiple ones you're importing. This works really good if you're taking different searches and you want to put them into one site or one result on the map. Then you can combine them into one illustration like you see here. This is all of Leesburg Township. Now, one thing that you can do when you get into that township is you can see below that the features will show up in a couple different places. This is what we call an attribute table. You'll see numerous places where you can export something to the attribute table. It's simply this drop down that pops up with this arrow below. It allows you to manipulate the data on the screen either by a feature or by the map extent to show you all the data that's there. These results in the attribute table can also be exported to a CSV file, i.e. Excel, manipulated there and resaved into a CSV file to import back into the map if you wish. That can be a little bit clunky, so it definitely is better for exporting than importing. The features can then be manipulated, like I mentioned. So if you want to do acreage, you can sort it by descending or by name or by township or by the address. It really is a nice way to filter it. And then once you get to the one you want, you can double click on it and it'll zoom right to that particular location. One thing that's nice, if you do find a couple of things you want to look up, you can select them. You can hold Control and just keep clicking the items that you wish to find out. Another trick is Control with your wheel on your mouse. You go in and out, so just something to keep aware of. If you're doing that, you might need to release the Control button as you're scrolling down if you do not use the scroll bar on the right-hand side there. Once you get your ones, you can actually take that and just say, I only want to look at those four. And then once you get to those four, you can go zoom to. And then what it does is it actually takes those four items, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it zoomed to those results. So it's really kind of nice if you see some things that are really quite handy in what you're looking for. You can really manipulate the data kind of nicely that way. There are some other ways to go in and out, but those are some really good ones. If you want to show all records, you go back to do that again. If you want to filter by acreage and then have a span, say for instance you want to go to properties that are 1 acre to 3 acres, then you can just keep scroll to that, hold the shift bar, make sure you've selected something on the top, and select something on the bottom. It does seem to restrict you to about 120 parcels, and I'm not really sure why it does that. But you can see here I'm just holding down shift and going up to the next one are 74 selected below out of 838 features. So there's plenty of options there. But as you can see, it didn't let me go above that number. So that's something that is an option too. Once you get your range, you can use that shift button there, go to selected parcels, zoom to, and then voila, there they are. Then you can also, if you need to, export those results to your Excel spreadsheet. That is how you import a map to your property, to your GIS map. And you can also see the map layer show up in your layer list here. There's another cool feature. I'm just going to kind of keep going on for those that are interested. When you're doing a search, and say you want to go all property classes within this GeoJSON data set that you imported. Most searches are set to return features within the full map extent, which is all of Union County. If you do restrict this, any of the tasks or the search options will have this filtration ability. You can do that extent, which means if you're zoomed in to a certain area, it'll only look at what your screen is showing. You can do it by a shape, draw on there. You can look and you can draw any kind of shape, and within that shape, you can see what. So here, I'm going to see what class 101s show up within a certain mile of this shape. And it kind of works to really filter it, and I'll give you just the ones that show up. Here, it only gave me 10. If you wanted to do within a layer, you can choose any layer you'd like, but the one that works out great here is the one that we imported. So you select the one that's there, and then you take your miles set. I don't want to do any miles because I want it to stay within, and I want to see how many 101 classes are within Leesburg Township, which is the GeoJSON file that I had imported. You can see here, that's how many are there. There are 19 101 properties, class 101, that is vacant, non-CAUV agricultural properties, buildings on them in Leesburg Township. And so that's kind of a nice way to filter. You can kind of use any kind of set you'd like that way. That was the parcel class. You can do sale dates within Leesburg Township. Anything that's sold between this and that, that is part of this data set. Between certain dates, you can do subdivision searches this way for lot sizes and other things if you wanted to. There are different odds and ends that you can look up. There's some other search tools that are in here that are really nice under the select feature, but I'll go into that in a different training video. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact our office. It's 937-645-3003. The map option will be the best option to select if you have any questions in using these map features. Again, that number is 937-645-3003.